Good morning.
Thanks, Bob. Let's move on to something else there. I got an APB I'm trying to put out for a fellow named Rick. Now, Rick came into the hangar the other day, quite a long time ago, and he said that he was a aficionado on aircraft, control surface, dope and fabric. Now, we really need Rick to come back and talk to us. I have to apologize because there was a time when we were so busy and Rick was coming in and out of the hangar and I just didn't have time to talk to him. And I am really sorry for that. Rick, if you're watching this, if you're watching Bob's channel, please come on down to the hangar and let's talk some more. And I promise we'll put some time aside to make you feel comfortable and let you know what we want and what you have to offer. Really appreciate this. We'll talk to you again. Hope. We'll see you. Bye.
Hey, it's Bob. We're again working on the plumbing nightmare, but we're kind of closing in on some things. Let me turn this around. Okay, so we found some issues of understanding that we didn't understand. The vacuum gauge, which is right there, and if you look close, we now have an open port there. Well, one side says low, which is that side. The other side says high. So one side is vacuum, but the other side is actually pressure. So that would come into play if we still had de-icer boots and any other vacuum stuff going on. The only thing we're using vacuum in this airplane for is the attitude indicator and the vacuum compass. On the other side, we do have those same two instruments, but we also have the VSI, which is operated off the vacuum. The reason why we don't have it on this side is because it's electrically operated. So anyway, we're going to test it here in a minute, and we'll get back to you. So I'm sitting here in the cockpit, and we've gone through several iterations of testing. We're bypassing check valves. We have two electric pumps in the nose, and we built a system that we should be able to turn them on independently, closing off the one that's not being in use. We're not developing enough vacuum. Jan's switching the piping a little bit, so we're going to be working off of the other pump, and we're going to give it a try. Now we can hear stuff coming on, but not what we want, so stand by. All right, so we're going to turn the batteries back on, which is right here. That gives us power on the dash. Jan's going to flip on the vacuum pump, and we're going to see what goes on here. Okay, there's the vacuum pump, and again, we're getting a loss in pressure. The red ball comes on.
Comes off.
Shuts off, yeah, what Jan said. But we're not getting anything on any of it. So our attitude indicator is, we got a little bit of movement there, but anyway, that's vacuum. The vacuum compass on this side. The VSI on this side is electric. I've got the circuit breaker pulled on that. So the artificial horizon, vacuum compass, and the VSI on that side. So there's 5 instruments being powered, not including the vacuum gauge. So we're going to continue investigating here and find out why we can't develop enough vacuum to power these instruments. Stand by. Okay, so we've been struggling with the vacuum system. We were trying to do things differently. The instrument layout caused some grief for us. We're not using the engine-driven vacuum pumps, which put out a lot of flow. So vacuum is a component in these aircraft vacuum systems, but the volume of air that they move is important for the instrumentation. And so the stuff that the plumbing that looks so great before is not going to work for us. What we were trying to do, we've got 5 instruments plus a gauge that we were trying to have one of our electric pumps power, and then we'd have a backup pump. You know, you can switch back and forth and have all the vacuum system work. Unfortunately, the pumps that we have, they're aircraft vacuum pumps that are electric, and so we've got a couple of ways to do this. Either we can have both pumps run and do a co-pilot side and a pilot side, or we can still have our idea of having a vacuum system for one side and an electric instrument system for the other side. Kind of adds an element of redundancy in case the vacuum system goes away, but then we would keep both the vacuum pumps so we have a backup for the vacuum side, and then the vacuum / electric be a backup for each other. So I'm going to test this these instruments here. It's kind of on the bench. I'm just got it here by the nose so that I can hook everything up, not including the aircraft. And let me get this set up and I'll show you what I'm doing. Okay, this is really noisy by the pumps, but hang on. So our artificial horizon is doing what it should. Our turn and bank and our compass are doing what they should. This ball in here, this is gravity, and so I'm not quite level, but in flight, what they would say, you step on the ball. So this is on this side a little bit. You would step on the rudders to straighten that out. The only downside that I've got going right now, besides the noise, we should be reading over 4 inches of mercury, and we're just about 3. We're going to do some more experimenting, and I'll be back. Okay, here's what I've drawn out of what we have to do. First of all, this is updated from what we were originally trying to do. Originally, we were trying to have both pumps talk to the whole airplane. So these are check valves. Here's your pumps. Would have come out of here and come over to here, gone up to the aircraft, and then feed all of this. Well, it's pretty apparent that our requirement for flow is not going to match what we need. So this is an alternative. We run a pump to the co-pilot side, run a pump to the pilot side. We hit the vacuum regulator, which has 2 ports on it, and this is a Piper drawing here out of their book. So here's the air inlet. This is the filter. This is filtered air, like we have up there. It's a really pretty thing too. So your filtered air comes in, and one of those hoses will go to one instrument, the other hose will go to the other instrument. All right. The regulator valve also has 2 hoses on it. It looks like, here's an older vacuum regulator valve. So here is your vacuum side, and here is where you come from your instruments. That's that right there. Exactly. So one hose would go to one instrument, another hose would go to another instrument. What's not depicted here is a turn and bank instrument that we have here. And then we also have the gauge. We're just using a regular vacuum gauge. I don't have enough reach. I have this plugged in. You see these red dots here? those are hooked to each pump, and we'll know which pump is on and that they are working when the red dot extinguishes. But I couldn't get that over here with what I had available, so that's why we're using this, so we can keep track of the pressure. I mean the vacuum. All right, so this is one way to do it. The other way, and we're still talking about it, which is to keep the two pumps. Now we've got a backup for this vacuum system, but then convert the pilot side over to electric. That means buying new that means buying new instruments or acquiring instruments, but that may be the best way to go for our purposes. It provides some redundancy from the vacuum system, which are not always as reliable as you'd like them to be. And so we'll see how this goes. I think that's going to be a next week thing. And I want to talk about something else. I want to ask my viewers. So we need a pair of $2,700 radios that in avionics, that's a pretty good price, and we have them available to us, and antennas. The problem is we're talking about $5,000 to $6,000. Would it be worth me putting up a GoFundMe? Would anybody be interested in helping us out with that? Anyway, I'd love to hear your comments below. We'll see if there's anything else that goes on today. The test on the instruments could have been better. I think that regulator valve is not very good. I had this one in a little bit ago. It seemed to provide a little more vacuum. I could get the gauge up to almost 5, and all the instruments were operational. But I'm running out of time today, so this may be a Monday thing. Anyway, thanks for watching my videos. I appreciate all of you. I love the comments. If you haven't subscribed, I'd sure appreciate that. And tell people about what we're doing here. This is, to me, it's an awesome thing. I'm so excited to get this thing in the air. We're getting closer. I get this stuff out of the way. When I say I mean we, collectively. I'm a small cog in this wheel. There are a lot of volunteers. Jan and Dave are the headliners here. They point me in a direction, and that's where I go. So if we can get this all in the instrument panel and have it all functioning, then we just have the radios and a few other things, and we can put this dang nose on here. So drop a comment. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.